Hello, welcome to the Introduction to Java Objects video tutorial. I'm sure that you have read the information on the Java Objects Basics blog, the article, and then we're going to implement in code whatever is described in the blog. The object described is a cash register. The cash register, the only attribute that it has is the amount of money inside the cash register, and the only operation is to put money inside and give change, according of course to the amount of money that the customer has to pay. I am going to I need a new project to have my things cleaned up. Okay, this is my cash register project. And inside my cash register project, I'm going to create a new Java class. And I will call this Java class cash register. Cash register. I will remove the package since my code is not so complex to need packaging. I will remove everything and my cash register object is ready. This cash register, as we discussed previously, it has a variable to keep the amount of money currently inside the machine. It's going to be of data type double and I will call it balance. I have the option to make it either private or public, but due to information hiding, we do not need the tester method to be able to access and change the balance inside the cash register. So I will make this private. I will show you in a while what will happen if that was public. And I need also to create the total balance of all instances of all cash registers that are going to be created by the tester program. I need a way to be able to set the initial balance of the cash register and the total balance, of course, to increase automatically every time money is put inside the cash register. I need to create one constructor. The constructor is always public. It has the name of the object that I am creating. So it has exactly the same name as whatever you have typed on top. It has no return data type as the rest of the methods. The noargs constructor uses two empty brackets. And I will initialize my balance there to 0. And the total balance of all cash registers to, I don't need to do that. Okay, since it is 0, I don't have to add the 0. So this constructor is my noargs constructor. Why do I call it noargs? Because inside the parentheses I have no arguments that I pass inside this constructor, this specific constructor. I'm going to create another constructor that is going to accept one variable, initial money, inside the machine, and this is going to increase the balance of the machine with the initial money that the user will put inside the machine to start working with. The total balance of all cash registers should also be increased by this amount of money. This is the start of how I create this object. The next thing I need is ways to be able to access these two variables. These are private. which means that I cannot display them, I cannot see them from other programs that will use instances of this object. So I will create from generate assessors the get balance and the get total balance methods to be able to see them, to display them. If I needed to be able to set or change the amount of money inside the machine, but in this specific case I don't want, I want the money, the balance to be able to change only through the specific operation that is called pay and perform some checks, I could check them as well. But in this specific case, I will only check the get balance and the get total balance methods. The code is generated automatically. The get balance returns the balance, the return type is double, and the get total balance returns the total balance. And be careful, this is double as well, but it's also static. Static means that the get total balance belongs to the cash register as a system and not the instantiation of the specific cash registers that you will see in a while. Before I go on creating the pay amount method, which is the most complex, I will create a tester to see how this thing works up to this point. So, new Java class, this will have a main method, it will run, and I will call it use cash registers. And I'm going to create a new cash register 100, a cash register B, new cash register. Okay, what the new keyword does? I am creating one cash register and I am calling it A. I can call it any name I like. By the keyword new, it calls the constructor of the cash register with the argument 100. I will go back to the cash register. I will see that he calls cash register with 100. So 100 goes inside the parentheses. And this 100 becomes actually the balance of cash register A and increases the total balance of all cash registers. I go back. Now I am creating another cash register. I call it B. This B cash register starts with 250 as an initial amount. So this 250 will become initial money inside the cash register, will be the balance of this cash register, and will increase the total balance of all cash registers to 100 that it was previously plus 250. So the total balance of all cash registers now is 350. I'm going to perform some printings to just display what happens. System.out.println a.getBalance. So this is going to display how much money exists inside cash register A. And this will display how much money exists in cash register B. And this will display how much money exists in the cash register as a system and not in a specific cash register. I will run this and I'm going to see that the balance inside cash register A equals 100, the balance inside cash register B 250, and the total balance 350. This means that my constructors, the initializers of the objects, work well. And now I need to create the other method, which is a little bit more complicated, In order for the customer to pay an amount, this method should calculate the change and increase the balance and the total balance of the cash registers. I will move at the end after these methods. My method that I will call it pay amount returns a double, which is the amount of money that the change that the cashier should give back to the customer. I told you in the specs that it has two inputs, a double amount payable and a double amount given by the customer. I will perform a few checks, which means that if amount given is less than amount payable, I will return a negative number that represents the amount of money that the customer should give us, because he should give us more. But I will not increase my balance. I will just say to the customer, you owe me another 2 cents, I don't know. Else, which means that the amount payable is more or equal to amount given, I will perform the following tasks. I will increase my balance by the amount payable. I will increase my total balance and I will return the change to the customer. And this is it. Now we'll change the tester program to use the pay amount method. So I will system.out.println. So cash register A.pay amount. I will use the numbers, the specifications that someone has to pay 786 and he gives a 20 euro bill. So the program will display the change. I can add a comment. Change. And in the second case, I need to pay in cash register B 22 euros and I give a 50 euro bill. And this is a 50 euro bill in that scenario. Now, if I run this, I'm going to see the initial balances of both cash registers, the change that should be given back in the first case, the change that should be given back in the second case, and the total amount of money inside all cash registers. And this is how I use the cash register object. Thank you very much.